Hi, welcome to Bearded Goat Trail Running's live broadcast. I'm Jenny Weyerman, and this is Adam Moody.
Hello, I'm doing things to get it streaming correctly, and I'll be here in a second.
So you get to talk to me for a little bit. We are broadcasting today because in about 30 minutes, we're going to be leaving to drive to the Catskills in New York. Not the city, the state. Anyway, in the Catskills. We have a big race tomorrow, which we've been prepping for about 6 months. It's a 54-mile trail race, so it's an ultra marathon, and it covers some gorgeous, gorgeous regions of the Catskills, starting kind of around where Hunter Mountain is. It's a ski area, and then it follows the escarpment trail down, and you look over the Hudson Valley. Oh my goodness, it's beautiful. And then eventually you take the Devil's Path, you summit something like 9 different peaks, and it takes some people around 24 hours. We're shooting for closer to 16.
Yeah, well, there's a 24-hour cutoff, but yeah, Jenny did it last year in about 16 hours. I had knee issues, so I was crew. So I got to see everybody do it and decided to come back and give it a shot this year.
I was, over the course of the race, I gained a nickname of Photo Op because I kept taking all of these photos and selfies along the way because it was just so beautiful. It was picturesque, and yeah. Yeah,
and it's kind of interesting for us since we've gotten into trail running. We originally, I think we mentioned this, but we came out from the Northwest, and so, used to mountains and, large hills and things like that. But there's some trails out here where you can get some pretty serious elevation gain. So like for this one, I may have been spacing out while I was doing this.
Oh, I didn't say.
Yeah, it's about 16,000 feet of gain over 50-something miles. So it's pretty intense. So it's a lot of fun. There's some scrambling, some ups and downs, some butt sliding.
I definitely felt my triceps with doing a bunch of lowering of my body down, really steep stuff. But anyway, it was really cool.
Cool. So I think the only other, was it the Long Path? You mentioned the escarpment.
I mentioned escarpment.
The Finger Lakes Trail goes through part of this, and then the Devil's Path.
The Devil's Path. That's if you have a chance to go out hiking in the Catskills and you want to run, a section of path, my recommendation is either the escarpment trail, but then closely followed by Devil's Path. It's just, you'll be hiking up and down some gorgeous, gorgeous peaks.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's some other runs too. So this is Manitou's Revenge we're doing. That's in June. They try to put it towards the closest day, or summer equinox?
It's the longest day. Yeah, the summer equinox.
Yeah, so the longest daylight hours day. They put it the closest they can on the Saturday, so that you have the most time to run during the day. And then in the fall, daylight. Yeah, daylight. Let's see, July. There's the escarpment, which is part of this trail, and it's, I forget, 19 miles. It's around 20 miles. It's a shorter race.
Yeah.
And then in the fall, they recently started the Cat's Tail. Last year was the first one. That's a trail marathon with about 7,000 feet of gain. So that was a blast. I did that. Jenny woke up sick when we were camping.
I had a fever.
That was awful. Anyways, so if you're in the area, there's lots of runs. There's more than that. This is just that one area. So by all means, go check it out. I'm looking through. I made some notes because we've been around this area before. We ate at a place called Picamous, I think, didn't we?
It's just outside of Phoenicia, between Phoenicia and the other town that's very close to that.
I can't remember, but just northwest of town. That was pretty good. It was kind of funny. We showed up, and I think they were hosting a wedding, but kind of a neat place. And we sat at the bar. We were in jeans and t-shirt, maybe a little out of stuck out a little bit, but anyways, good place, good food. I think we both had burgers.
Yeah. And they had they also had mussels, and we had mozzarella appetizer that was really good. But anyway, but there's a whole bunch of other places to eat just in and around Phoenicia, which is where our race ends, and also the Cat's Tail, and I think the escarpment goes around there. There's a whole bunch of little eateries right around Phoenicia, but all these little towns that kind of pepper the Catskills, they're peppered with just good food and
yeah, it's just different from where we're at, where we've been for the last few years. I think my guess is that it's the proximity towards the city is that you get more people coming out, and just it's more populous as you head towards the Hudson Valley. So you come into these smaller towns, and up where we are out by Syracuse, you'd expect it to just be, like a one diner place. And you go in and there's like 4 restaurants and this and that. And So it's pretty neat to head out there.
They really cater to kind of the influx of tourists during tourist season. So summer and then, of course, in the winter time when it turns into more of a skiing and cross-country skiing, I guess.
Yeah. And I actually hope I'm wrong about this part because I wanted to mention a brewery because we're heading by Omegang on the way home. And so this is not in the Catskills. But I know that there's local breweries around there, but the only one we've been to that's actually in the Catskills is the Catskills Brewery.
It's really good.
Yeah, we stopped by there a couple months ago after a trail race in Beacon. But that's a little ways away from where we're going to be at. So by all means, hopefully if somebody sees this and you're in the Catskills, let us know where all the good breweries are around Hunter Mountain or Phoenicia.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Yeah, somebody's got to know.
Send us a note.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of different local attractions in the area. Of course, trails. I mean, we are always centered around finding new trails and looking for where the locals go. But there's actually, I'm just remembering, there's a whole bunch of rivers and creeks and whatnot around, and they actually have national canoe competitions, slalom canoe stuff around there. But Phoenicia themselves, they have a tubing company, so you can do river floats down the creeks when they have releases, bubbles releases.
Which, in case you don't know, so like where there's areas where there's not a lot of water year round, they'll dam it up upstream and then they release for a certain number of hours, each day or week or whatever. And then you get that section of high water going down. So, yeah, other than that, I was trying to think, at Hunter Mountain, I wanted to mention this. There's some cool stuff in the summer we didn't get to do. So there's a beer fest called Tap New York in April. And then we found out they have a bunch of cool stuff at the ski mountain off season, like zip lines, mountain biking, that type of thing.
They do a zombie survival combat challenge, something like this, that just looked kind of crazy, but you might be into it. Lots of trails hiking around Hunter Mountain too. I mean, you can hike right on up the ski slopes and get to the top if you really wanted. We had a couple of friends that did that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And as far as places to stay, I think we mentioned the camping. We camped a couple of times. We're trying, is it VRBO or Airbnb? Airbnb this time. There's a lot. Actually, I was kind of surprised at the number of places. So a large number of places to stay at is pretty easy. I say that because Jenny did the reservations, but I remember there's a lot of options. So we had that, and yeah. So that's about it for us. I guess we're kind of getting ramped up for the race. I mean, we're literally shutting down the computers and walking out the door.
You can see we've got a bunch of stuff out here. We have our drop bag bags, I guess. They're just like Ziploc bags that we have all of our goos and whatnot, and apparently sunglasses.
One very big pair of sunglasses.
Yeah, we always try to print out kind of where the aid stations are and then laminate them via Scotch tape. And yeah, we're kind of just getting our stuff put together and getting on the road.
Cool. Yeah. Well, that's about it then. I'd like to say thanks to Charlie for the race. And we're looking forward to seeing people. The cool part, now that we've been around for a few years in one area, after moving around a lot, is starting to get to know people. You start to see them at races or other places. And so it's funny. We'll drive 3 hours today and we'll see probably at least 5 or 6 people there that we know that live within 10 minutes of us, but we only see them at races or, maybe out in the woods or training runs or something.
Right. So. Yeah. I mean, the trail running community is a wonderfully friendly community. So of course, if you go to these different races and whatnot, eventually you start seeing familiar faces just because you all gather at these races. So anyway, I think we should get going. We've got hours on the road and then hours on our feet tomorrow.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right. See ya.
Bye.